Howdy, folks. I'm here working on explaining to you guys this idea of formatting resumes. I'm sitting here in my parents' house, a glorious house right next to a gas fireplace. I'm real comfortable, if you couldn't tell. So hopefully I can convey some great ideas onto you in this short little video. Like I said, we're working on resume format. Yesterday we came up with a lot of great ideas about what's unique about us and what skills and experiences that we have. Now it's our task to take those ideas and put them on paper in one page to make us look really, really good. And that's the thing about resumes. Is you could have the best resume in the world, you could have the best experience, but if you format it and portray it in such a way that you look like a pile of rags, like no one's going to look at it. They're going to be like, get out of here, get out of my resume pile. You're not going to get the job. Better luck elsewhere. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas, a couple of things to think about in order to help you get that job. So first and foremost, make it look good. Be unique in the way you put your resume together. Take these templates that I'm going to give you and adjust them so they fit for you. But remember, don't go wild with it. That's one of the biggest things is don't pick all these crazy fonts to use. Pick something easy, consistent, and professional. Now, remember, you don't have to reinvent the resume. Like people have been creating resumes for hundreds of years. So if you're not Googling resume format and looking at 15 other resumes as you create yours, you're doing something wrong. You're ignoring all the great work that everyone else has done. Look at how other people do it. Apply it to your own resume. Remember, this is a presentation of yourself. So be consistent in the way you format. Be precise in the way you format. Because if you're not consistent, precise, and professional in the way your resume looks, as an employer, I'm going to assume that you can't be consistent and professional in the way you do your job. So no grammar mistakes. Make sure all your fonts are the same or at least formatted similarly. And be professional in this. This is your one chance to get your foot in the door of a company that you might actually care about and a job that you might actually want. So take this seriously. Also, I'm an English guy, so I've got to stress this idea of writing assertively and in complete sentences to explain why your skills and experience matter. Take a look at the difference between these two sentences. If you had worked a waiting job or a hosting job, you could say that you had responsibilities of customer satisfaction. That's an okay sentence, right? I'm going to look at that and be like, oh, sure, whatever. But take a look at it. You use this verb had, you can come up with a way better verb than had. And look at the word restaurant. It's spelled wrong. If I see that, boom, you're out of my resume pile, on to the next person. Compare that to this. Say you coordinated with members of a 6-person team to ensure a quality dining experience for all customers in an award-winning restaurant. Wow, you coordinated, you worked with a 6-person team to ensure a quality dining experience? That's saying the same thing up here, but it sounds way better. So push yourself. I mean, I'm not saying be completely verbose and ridiculous, but make sure that it aligns. Make sure your descriptions of your sentences really back up with what you know and what you do. Second thing is focus on your accomplishments. Describe your skills, describe your experience in ways that seem like they actually matter, like you actually did something. You didn't just show up to work, you contributed to work. So instead of just saying you attended group meetings, say that maybe you had this job of recording minutes for a meeting. Maybe you recorded minutes for a meeting and compiled them in a cloud-based file for future organizational reference. That's a really fancy sentence to say, I took notes in Google Sheets and then sent it out to all my coworkers. Let me show you what that looks like in actual practice. If I bring up this is my resume, and for example, let's take a look at, I was an ultimate frisbee coach. I could say I coached ultimate frisbee. But if I go a little bit further, if I say I organized practices and strategies in Seattle, Washington to build team fundamentals, sportsmanship, and cooperation, that looks a lot better than just saying I coached kids, right? Find those verbs, find those descriptions that really, really back up what it is that you did. Focus on your accomplishments. Remember, when we build these resumes, one size does not fit all. You can't create this resume and then expect to send it out to 15 different jobs and expect responses from all of these. You have to cater your resume to the job that you're applying for. And that's really tough as high school students now because you don't have a lot of like leeway and malleability in your resume. But as you get older, as you get more experience, more job experience, start highlighting different things for different jobs as you apply for them. And lastly, I want to show you what we can do in Google Docs because we live in an awesome age. If you go to open up a new Google Doc and go File, New, from Template, Google Docs has already created templates for us. Look, there's 4 templates that you can choose from. Open one of them up and start applying it to your own resume. And obviously, not everything's going to transfer. Maybe you didn't have 3 jobs. You're going to have to get rid of a little bit here and then maybe beef up your awards or your skills section, or maybe add a section that says, the organizations that you've been a part of. You have to cater it to you. You're a unique individual with unique talents. Make sure that's reflected in your resume. Don't just copy paste from one side to the other. Last thing that I want to point out is if you take a look at Google Classroom, this resume creation assignment here, I've got my requirements, I've got some helpful hints, but I've also have resources, and that's one of a big thing too. I've got this link here, which is going to link to more templates that you can use. Also, I've got this resume right here, which is an example. Here's an example of a high school student resume. And this resume is good. We've got experience, awards, activities, references. We could add a section that says skills. This resume is okay, but I think we can all do a better job than this. Personally, I don't like the blue. I think we could make better use of this blank space. And that's your job. That's your task today, is to take the ideas that you came up with yesterday, put them into a resume format that looks good and that accurately represents you in one page. You got one page to impress employers. Let's make a good job of it. If you have any questions, obviously find me before, after class, during class, and I'd be happy to answer you anything that you have, because I want you to get that job out of high school, out of college. Thanks so much, folks. Best of luck.